Hello and welcome, my name is Mr. Elliott and I'm a teacher at Spratronix Learning Lab. In this video we're going to be making the classic game Snake in Scratch. Snake is a video game dating back to the 1970s that got very popular when the Nokia mobile phone was released. The game itself is very simple. You play as a snake that needs to eat these little squares to grow bigger. But be careful to not run into yourself or you'll lose. Okay, now that we know what we'll be making, let's get started. Be sure to pause this video at any point if you need to catch up. Okay, here we are in a brand new Scratch project. The first thing you're going to want to do is to get rid of the cat sprite and go ahead and pick a new sprite. We're going to pick the ball, and that's going to actually be the head of the snake. We're going to bring in a when green flag pressed, and we're going to want to work on the movement for our snake. So we're going to bring in a forever, and we're going to grab a move 10 steps. Let's check out what that looks like. Looks pretty good. To avoid having to drag the ball all the way back to the middle every time we press play, I'm going to go to motion and add a go to X, Y. This value is going to be the exact position where the sprite is right now, so every time I press play, it'll always be in the same spot. Now inside of my forever, I'm going to want to add an if-then statement. That's going to be for the controls. We're going to do if key up arrow pressed. We're going to want to change the direction our ball is facing. Now right now it's hard to tell since it's a ball, so I'm going to draw a little arrow at the front. This is just for me, you do not need to do this. So now we're going to pick point in direction, and we're going to want to point in direction 0 because 0 is up, and that's the direction we want to face when we press the up arrow. So now if I press the up arrow, we're going up. Perfect. So here's a little trick for if you're working on something repetitive. If you right click, you can duplicate it and create a completely new one with the same information. And of course the values are the same, so let's change up to down and let's point in direction 180 because that's down. So we're going to combine them together and duplicate them so we can get two more pieces of code. That way we can do left and point to the left. And we're going to do right and point to the right. Perfect. Now let's connect that into our forever because remember, we want the computer to always be looking for when we press those buttons. So we absolutely need to put that in a forever. Let's go ahead and test it out, and that looks perfect. So let's get rid of that little pointer because that was just to show you guys what that looks like. And maybe I want my snake to start right here. So let's go ahead and change the information in my go to XY. That way, every time I press play, it'll always show up there. So negative 134 and negative 1. So let's go ahead and press the flag, and oh, it looks like I'm going up. So that's not going to give the player a whole lot of time to make a decision. So let's make sure that right when the game starts, we're pointing in direction 90 to give the player a bunch of time to make a decision. And I think my snake head might be a little too large. So we're going to go ahead and change the size on that to, let's say, 50. Now let's add something for the snake to pick up and grow. I'm going to choose an apple because that's kind of a food. Let's also make that size 50. So we want a couple things to happen with the apple. We want it so that when the snake touches the apple, it moves to a random spot, and we want to increase the snake's size when it eats an apple. So let's add a variable called score. Let's use a forever in our code to check if our apple is touching our ball. So we're going to use if, we're going to use touching. And so if that's the case, we're going to increase our score by 1. So we're going to use change score by 1. And we want the apple to move to a different spot. Let's use go to random position. And let's plug that in. And let's see. Perfect. So when we touch our apple, we're getting 1 score and it's going to a different spot. Awesome. But now if you'll notice, if I press the green flag again, our score is still 6, and we don't really want that. We want to make sure our score goes back to 0 every single time. So let's add a set my variable to 0, and we're going to set our score to 0 every time we press the green flag. So let's test that out, and that's perfect. So let's start work on our snake getting longer. Let's add another ball, and let's make sure that it's going to be the same size as our other one. You could actually make the initial ball a little larger to show that it's the head, but you don't have to. So the way we're going to make our snake longer is we're going to clone our second ball. So let's go ahead and start on that. Let's add a new when green flag clicked. Let's add a forever because we want this to be happening all the time. We want it to grow all the time. We're going to use create a clone down here of the ball 2. So now let's go in ball 2 and we're going to do when I start as a clone. We're going to go to our first ball. So that means right when it's a clone, it's going to go straight to ball 1. And so let's see what that looks like. Perfect. Let's use a little bit of code to make the snake work properly. We're going to use wait 1 second and hide and show to properly show when the snake is growing. So right when the green flag is pressed, we're going to hide our initial ball. And then we're going to show it when it starts as a clone. And then we're going to add a couple of wait 1 seconds. So let's test it out right now. Do you see that it's following my path, but it's a little delayed? So it's so delayed, so let's make it a small number, smaller than 1. Let's use a decimal. Let's do 0.2. That's pretty good. It looks like it's following the snake pretty nicely. But in Snake, our segments get deleted after a certain amount of time, so this is where this second code comes in, and let's test that out. Look at that. Lovely. So now we need to work on our length increasing every time our score goes up. So let's go ahead and use the multiplication operator with our score variable, and we're going to multiply it by, let's say 1, and we're going to go ahead and put that in the wait time. And so right now you can see every time my score goes up, I do get longer, but it's a lot of length every time. So there's probably something I can do to the code to fix that. Let's go ahead and just use a decimal, and let's try 0.2. If you want your snake to be shorter, you can use 0.1, or you can always change these numbers later. And that's going to be all the code we need for ball 2. So a couple things you might have noticed. If we touch our snake segments, we actually don't lose. So we need to do that, and if we touch the sides, we should also be losing. So let's go ahead and see if we can add that. We're going to use a if-then block if touching ball 2, because that's one of the ways we lose, right? If we touch our segment, and if we're touching edge, we should lose as well. So for this to work, we just need an or operator. And so that means if we're touching ball 2 or if we're touching edge, what should we do? We should, of course, stop the game. We're going to use stop all for that. And then we can go ahead and drop that right here because there's a forever right there. So it will always be checking to see if we're doing those things. So our snake is a little long still. So I'm going to go ahead and add a wait 0.05. So now we have a little more of a snake effect. So do you see this problem now? The apple is getting created on the edge of the screen, and it makes it really hard for it to pick up. So let's go back to the apple and add a little tiny block that'll fix that problem super easily. So we are going to add if on edge bounce. And that's just going to make it so that whenever the apple's on the edge, it'll just bounce right off. As you just saw, our apple kind of just bumped right up, and let's test it out again. Perfect. So as you can see, our apple just flipped upside down. So in order to fix that, we're going to use a set rotation style left right. That's going to make it so our apple can't be flipped upside down. So here's another problem. Our apple can get created directly on our tail, and of course we can't touch our tail, so if we go for that apple, we will lose. So in order to fix that, let's use an if touching ball 2, and we're just going to go to a random position. That way, if the apple gets created on top of our tail, it just kind of goes somewhere else. And that's going to be a perfect fix for that. The last step really is we can create a background. So I'm going to pick Neon Tunnel because it's kind of retro and snaky. And if you think your snake is too fast, you can go over here to move 10 steps, and we can just make that 5 steps. And that'll just make your snake go slower. Here's a little bonus effect for you. If you want your snake's tail to fade away, you can go here in looks, you can use change color effect by 25, and we can actually change that to change ghost. And then we can use a repeat to make the end of your tail fade out. Your snake game is complete. Thank you for watching and following along. I encourage you to experiment with all the numbers in this game and see if you can find a way to make it more fun. Be sure to check out Spratronix Learning Lab for more fun lessons. I'm Mr. Elliott, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.